Eating out should be simple and safe. But for seniors, restaurant dining hides serious dangers. From kitchens crawling with rodents to food left sitting for hours at unsafe temperatures, the risks go far beyond a bad meal. High sodium dishes can spike your blood pressure. Contaminated food can land you in the hospital. Today, we're exposing 9 restaurant chains you should avoid completely and revealing 2 that actually protect your health. Coming in at number 9, Golden Corral. Golden Corral markets itself as the ultimate family buffet. All-you-can-eat comfort food, endless options. A place where grandparents bring their grandkids for Sunday lunch. The brand promises home-style cooking and wholesome variety. But behind those sneeze guards and warming trays lies a disturbing reality that health inspectors have documented across dozens of locations nationwide. In 2023 alone, over 40% of Golden Corral locations inspected by county health departments received critical violations. These were not minor infractions. Inspectors found raw meat stored above ready-to-eat foods, allowing bloody drippings to contaminate salad bars. They discovered employees handling food without gloves directly after touching dirty surfaces. Temperature logs showed mashed potatoes and gravy sitting in the danger zone for over 4 hours, creating perfect breeding grounds for bacteria like Staphylococcus aureus and Clostridium perfringens. For seniors, this is not just about getting a stomachache. Your immune system weakens with age. Many of you are on medications that suppress immunity further, like steroids for arthritis or chemotherapy drugs. A single exposure to foodborne pathogens can trigger severe diarrhea, dehydration, and hospitalization. Seniors with heart conditions face additional risk because dehydration strains the cardiovascular system, potentially leading to dangerous drops in blood pressure or irregular heartbeats. One particularly disturbing inspection report from a Florida location described grease buildup so thick on kitchen walls that it dripped onto prep surfaces. Inspectors found live cockroaches crawling inside the bread warmer. The smell was described as rancid and sour, mixing with the artificial butter scent pumped through the dining room. Yet customers continued filling their plates, unaware of what lurked just beyond the buffet line. The sodium content in Golden Corral meals is another hidden threat. A single plate of fried chicken, mashed potatoes with gravy, mac and cheese, and a buttered roll can contain over 3,500 milligrams of sodium. That is more than double the recommended daily limit for seniors managing high blood pressure or kidney disease. Your doctor tells you to watch your salt intake. Golden Corral promises comfort and value, but what you are actually consuming could be pushing your blood pressure into stroke territory. Statistics reveal that nearly 15% of foodborne illness outbreaks traced to buffet-style restaurants involve seniors as the primary victims. The reason is simple. Food sits exposed for hours. Temperatures fluctuate. Customers sneeze and cough near open trays. Cross-contamination runs rampant when the same serving spoon touches multiple dishes. Golden Corral promises abundance. What they deliver is risk. At number 8, we have Applebee's. Applebee's built its reputation on neighborhood dining. Friendly service, 2 for $20 deals, a menu promising everything from riblets to Bourbon Street steak. For decades, seniors have trusted Applebee's as a reliable spot for affordable meals. But recent health inspection records paint a very different picture of what happens in those kitchens when customers are not looking. Across multiple states, Applebee's locations have been cited for serious food safety violations. In Ohio, inspectors shut down one location after discovering rodent droppings throughout the kitchen, including inside food storage containers. In California, another Applebee's was forced to close after employees were caught preparing food while visibly ill with stomach flu symptoms. The promised neighborhood warmth becomes a nightmare when you realize your server might be contagious. The sensory details from inspection reports are alarming. Grease traps overflowing with rancid oil, walk-in coolers with temperatures hovering at 50 degrees, well above the safe threshold for storing raw chicken and seafood. One inspector noted the overwhelming smell of decay coming from a prep station, where old vegetables had been left to rot in plastic bins. Yet the dining room remained open, serving seniors who trusted the brand. For those of you managing diabetes or taking blood thinners, Applebee's menu poses additional dangers. Their signature dishes are loaded with hidden sugars and sodium. A single order of boneless wings with honey barbecue sauce contains over 2,000 milligrams of sodium and 40 grams of sugar. If you are on medications like warfarin, inconsistent vitamin K levels from poorly stored vegetables can interfere with your treatment. Applebee's promises convenience. What you get is unpredictability that can throw your health off balance. Employee turnover at Applebee's locations averages over 130% annually. That means constant training gaps, new hires handling raw meat without proper sanitation knowledge, managers cutting corners to meet corporate profit demands. One former employee revealed that expired ingredients were routinely relabeled with new dates to avoid waste. Chicken breasts with a slimy texture and sour smell were still cooked and served. Applebee's markets itself as your neighborhood friend. But would a friend knowingly serve you spoiled food? Statistics from the CDC show that restaurants with high employee turnover are 60% more likely to have critical health violations. Applebee's fits this pattern perfectly. The promise of familiar comfort hides a reality of cutting corners and risking customer safety. For seniors with compromised immune systems, eating at Applebee's is like playing Russian roulette with your health. Now at number 7, Ruby Tuesday. Ruby Tuesday once symbolized casual dining quality. The iconic salad bar, handcrafted burgers, a menu designed for families seeking both value and freshness. They promised farm-to-table ingredients and attentive service. Seniors flocked to Ruby Tuesday for birthday dinners and retirement celebrations. But beneath the polished exterior and cheerful branding, serious problems have emerged that put your health at risk. Health inspection reports from Ruby Tuesday locations across the country reveal a pattern of neglect. In Georgia, inspectors documented moldy lettuce and slimy tomatoes still sitting in the salad bar coolers. Temperatures were measured at 48 degrees, creating ideal conditions for bacterial growth. In Texas, another location was cited for storing raw ground beef directly on top of ready-to-eat salad ingredients. Blood and meat juices dripped down, contaminating everything below. Ruby Tuesday promised freshness. What they delivered was cross-contamination waiting to happen. The sensory reality is disturbing. Former employees describe walk-in refrigerators with standing water pooling on the floor, creating slippery mold patches. The smell was described as musty and rotten, mixing with the scent of aging produce. Yet managers instructed staff to serve the food anyway, simply trimming off the obviously spoiled portions. For seniors, this is terrifying. You cannot see bacteria, you cannot smell listeria, but it is there hiding in that seemingly fresh salad you just loaded onto your plate. Ruby Tuesday's declining business model adds another layer of risk. As locations close nationwide, remaining restaurants struggle with understaffing and aging equipment. Refrigeration units break down and are not repaired promptly. Food is left sitting in the danger zone for hours. One inspection report noted that cooked chicken was being stored at room temperature for over 6 hours before being reheated and served. For seniors with weakened immune systems or those recovering from surgery, consuming food handled this way can trigger life-threatening infections. The sodium levels in Ruby Tuesday meals pose a specific threat to seniors managing heart conditions. A single bacon cheeseburger with fries and a side of onion rings contains over 4,200 milligrams of sodium. If you are on blood pressure medication or diuretics, this single meal can cause dangerous fluid retention, shortness of breath, and swelling in your legs and feet. Ruby Tuesday promises a satisfying meal. What you actually get could land you in the emergency room with congestive heart failure symptoms. Statistics show that casual dining chains experiencing financial decline see a 70% increase in health code violations. Ruby Tuesday perfectly illustrates this trend. Stores close, budgets shrink, corners get cut, and seniors pay the price with their health. The brand you once trusted now represents risk you cannot afford to take. Want to stay ahead of food dangers and hidden risks? Hit subscribe now so you don't miss the facts that could protect your health. Coming in at number 6, Red Lobster. Red Lobster built its empire on seafood promises. Fresh catches, Cheddar Bay biscuits, endless shrimp promotions that bring families together. For seniors, Red Lobster represented a special occasion destination. The brand marketed itself on ocean fresh quality and generous portions. But recent bankruptcy filings and health inspection records reveal that what you are actually eating may be far from fresh and potentially dangerous. Seafood requires meticulous handling. Temperatures must stay below 40 degrees. Cross-contamination protocols must be strict. Thawing must happen in controlled environments. Yet inspection reports from Red Lobster locations tell a different story. In Massachusetts, inspectors found shrimp stored at 58 degrees, well into the danger zone for bacterial multiplication. In Florida, raw fish was discovered sitting on prep counters for over 3 hours, slowly warming to room temperature. The fishy smell was overwhelming, described by inspectors as putrid and nauseating. Red Lobster promises freshness. What they deliver is spoilage. For seniors, contaminated seafood poses extreme danger. Bacteria like Vibrio vulnificus thrive in improperly stored shellfish. If you have diabetes, liver disease, or a weakened immune system, exposure to Vibrio can cause necrotizing fasciitis, a flesh-eating infection with a mortality rate exceeding 50% in elderly patients. That endless shrimp special suddenly does not seem so appealing when you understand the stakes. The texture and smell of properly handled seafood should be specific. Fresh fish has a clean, ocean-like scent. The flesh should be firm and spring back when touched. Yet multiple customer complaints describe red lobster fish arriving at the table with a slimy coating and a strong ammonia odor, clear signs of decomposition. When questioned, servers dismiss concerns, claiming that is just how the seasoning smells. But seasoning does not create slime. Bacteria does. Red Lobster's financial struggles have directly impacted food safety. As the company filed for bankruptcy in 2024, locations cut staff, reduced cleaning schedules, and stretched food inventories beyond safe limits. One former manager revealed that corporate pressure to minimize waste led to serving fish past expiration dates. If it passed a smell test, it went out to customers. For seniors on blood thinners or immunosuppressant medications, eating spoiled seafood can trigger severe gastrointestinal distress, dangerous dehydration, and blood infections. Sodium content in red lobster meals compounds these risks. A single Admiral's Feast, a popular senior menu choice, contains over 5,600 milligrams of sodium. That is nearly 4 times the recommended daily limit for someone managing hypertension or kidney disease. Your kidneys are already working harder as you age. Adding this sodium load can push them into crisis, causing fluid buildup around the heart and lungs. Red Lobster promises indulgence. What you get is a recipe for medical emergency. Statistics show that seafood-related foodborne illnesses disproportionately affect adults over 60, with hospitalization rates 3 times higher than younger populations. Red Lobster's combination of financial pressure and lax safety standards makes it a particularly dangerous choice for seniors. The ocean fresh promise has become an ocean of risk. At number 5, we have Chili's. Chili's positioned itself as the home of fun, flavorful Tex-Mex and American comfort food. Baby back ribs, sizzling fajitas, bottomless chips, and salsa. For seniors, Chili's represented casual dining with bold flavors and reasonable prices. The brand promised quality ingredients and consistent standards. But health inspection records and customer illness reports reveal a disturbing pattern of contamination and negligence that puts your health in serious jeopardy. Inspection reports from Chili's locations nationwide document repeated critical violations. In Arizona, inspectors found employees preparing food while wearing the same gloves they used to handle cash and clean tables. In North Carolina, raw chicken was stored in containers leaking onto fresh vegetables below. In Illinois, ice machines were found coated with black mold, contaminating every drink served. The promised sizzle and flavor comes with hidden dangers you cannot see or taste until it is too late. The sensory details are revolting. Former kitchen staff described grease buildup so thick on fryers that it formed a crust, never fully cleaned between shifts. The smell was described as burnt and rancid, permeating everything cooked in that oil. Refrigeration units malfunctioned regularly, leaving food in the temperature danger zone for hours. Managers instructed staff to continue using ingredients even when they smelled off or had visible mold, simply cutting away the worst parts. Chili's promises fresh cooked meals. What you are actually eating may have been sitting in unsafe conditions for days. For seniors managing diabetes, Chili's menu is a minefield. A single order of their famous baby back ribs with sides contains over 2,100 calories, 180 grams of carbohydrates, and 5,400 milligrams of sodium. If you are on insulin or other diabetes medications, this meal can send your blood sugar skyrocketing, followed by a dangerous crash. The combination of excessive sodium and sugar creates the perfect storm for seniors with heart disease, potentially triggering arrhythmias or heart failure exacerbations. Multiple norovirus outbreaks have been traced to Chili's locations in recent years. Norovirus spreads rapidly through contaminated food and surfaces, causing severe vomiting and diarrhea. For seniors, norovirus is not just unpleasant, it is dangerous. Dehydration happens quickly in older adults. Your kidneys cannot compensate as efficiently. Blood pressure drops. Electrolytes become imbalanced. What starts as food poisoning can quickly escalate to hospitalization, especially if you are already taking diuretics or blood pressure medications. The texture of properly cooked and handled food should be consistent, yet customer complaints describe Chili's burgers arriving pink and cold in the center, indicating undercooking. Lettuce in salads arrives wilted and brown, signs of age and improper storage. Chips taste stale and smell musty, evidence of moisture contamination. Chili's promises fresh Tex-Mex. What they serve is risk wrapped in familiar flavors. Statistics reveal that casual dining chains with extensive menus and and high customer volume sees safety violations increase by 55% compared to focused restaurants. Chili's sprawling menu creates more opportunities for cross-contamination and temperature abuse. The promise of variety becomes a liability when safety cannot keep pace with demand. Most people never learn how to spot these red flags until it is too late, but we will break down exactly what to look for at the end of this video. Now, at number 4, TGI Fridays. TGI Fridays branded itself as the fun, casual dining destination. Loaded potato skins, Jack Daniel's glazed ribs, signature cocktails. The restaurant promised party atmosphere and reliable American favorites. Seniors appreciated the consistent menu and familiar environment. But behind the festive decorations and cheerful servers, health inspectors have documented serious safety failures that make eating at Fridays a gamble with your health. Health department records reveal a troubling pattern across TGI Fridays locations. In Pennsylvania, inspectors found dead rodents in kitchen storage areas and droppings contaminating food prep surfaces. In Michigan, employees were observed handling raw meat, then immediately preparing salads without washing hands or changing gloves. In Nevada, refrigeration units were found malfunctioning, with dairy products and raw chicken stored at temperatures exceeding 50 degrees. Fridays promises fun. What they deliver is filth. The sensory experience described in inspection reports is nauseating. One inspector noted the overwhelming smell of rotting food coming from a dish pit where food scraps had been accumulating for days. Grease traps overflowed, creating slippery floors coated in rancid oil. Ice machines contained visible slime buildup, contaminating every beverage. Former employees described managers instructing staff to serve food that had been dropped on the floor following a quick rinse under water. The 5-second rule does not apply when the floor is covered in bacteria. For seniors on blood thinners like warfarin, Friday's inconsistent food handling poses specific dangers. Vitamin K levels must remain consistent for your medication to work properly. But when vegetables are stored improperly, their nutritional content degrades unpredictably. One day, your salad might have high vitamin K, throwing your Indian rupee out of range. The next day, spoiled vegetables have lost most nutrients. This inconsistency can cause dangerous bleeding or clotting events. Fridays promises consistency. What you get is unpredictable risk. The sodium content in Friday's signature dishes is staggering. A single order of loaded potato skins contains over 2,800 milligrams of sodium. Add a Jack Daniel's burger and fries, and you are consuming over 6,500 milligrams in one meal. For seniors managing congestive heart failure or kidney disease, this sodium load causes immediate fluid retention. Your legs swell, breathing becomes difficult, your heart struggles to pump against the extra volume. What seemed like a fun night out becomes a medical crisis. TGI Fridays has closed over 150 locations since 2020, a clear sign of financial distress. When companies struggle, food safety suffers. Maintenance gets deferred. Cleaning supplies run low. Training becomes minimal. Staff turnover accelerates, leaving inexperienced workers handling complex food safety protocols. One former manager admitted that corporate pressure to cut costs led to using cheaper, lower quality ingredients and extending hold times on cooked food far beyond safe limits. Fridays promises quality. Financial reality dictates corners get cut. Listeria contamination has been linked to multiple Fridays locations. Listeria is particularly dangerous for seniors because it can cross into the bloodstream, causing meningitis and sepsis. If you are over 65, your risk of dying from listeriosis is nearly 20 times higher than younger adults. That appetizer sampler suddenly represents a life-threatening risk. The party atmosphere masks the danger lurking in the kitchen. Do not go anywhere. The solution to protecting yourself comes at the very end, and it could change how you choose restaurants forever. Coming in at number 3, Outback Steakhouse. Outback Steakhouse built its brand on Australian-themed Americana. Bloomin' onions, perfectly grilled steaks. No rules, just right. For seniors, Outback represented special occasion dining, a place to celebrate anniversaries and birthdays. The brand promised quality cuts of meat and reliable preparation, but health inspection records and customer illness reports tell a different story, one involving contaminated meat, cross-contamination, and dangerous food handling that can turn your celebration into a hospital visit. Steak requires precise temperature control from delivery to plate. Raw beef must stay below 40 degrees. Cooking must reach safe internal temperatures. Yet inspection reports from Outback locations document repeated failures. In Virginia, inspectors found raw steaks stored at 52 degrees in a malfunctioning cooler. In Colorado, grill cooks were observed placing cooked steaks on the same unwashed cutting boards used for raw meat. In Tennessee, thermometers were broken or missing entirely, meaning staff had no way to verify safe cooking temperatures. Outback promises perfection. What they deliver deliver is contamination. The smell and texture of properly aged and handled beef should be specific. Fresh beef has a clean, slightly metallic scent. The surface should be dry, not slimy or sticky. Yet multiple customer reports describe Outback steaks arriving with an off smell, described as sour or ammonia-like. When cut open, the meat had a gray-brown color instead of the expected pink-red. These are clear signs of spoilage and bacterial growth. Servers dismiss complaints, offering to recook the steak. But reheating spoiled meat does not eliminate all toxins produced by bacteria. Outback promises quality cuts. What you might be eating is decomposing meat masked by char and seasoning. For seniors with compromised immune systems, consuming contaminated beef can trigger severe E. coli or salmonella infections. These are not mild stomach bugs. E. coli, O157H7, can cause hemolytic uremic syndrome, leading to kidney failure. In seniors, this condition has a mortality rate exceeding 30%. That perfectly cooked ribeye could be hiding bacteria capable of shutting down your kidneys within days. Outback promises indulgence. What you risk is your life. The sodium content in Outback meals compounds health risks. A single bloomin' onion appetizer contains 3,400 milligrams of sodium. Add a steak with loaded mashed potatoes, and you are consuming over 6,800 milligrams in one meal. For seniors on blood pressure medication, this sodium bomb causes immediate spikes, potentially triggering hypertensive crisis, stroke, or heart attack. Your doctor has warned you about sodium. Outback's menu actively undermines your health goals. Outback's parent company, Bloomin' Brands, has faced multiple lawsuits related to food safety failures. In 2022, a listeria outbreak traced to an Outback location in Ohio hospitalized 14 people, 3 of whom died. All victims were over 60. The source was traced to contaminated lettuce that had been improperly washed and stored. Outback's internal investigation revealed that the location had been operating with broken sanitizing equipment for over 2 months, but corporate management failed to enforce repairs. Outback promises no rules, just right. The reality is no oversight, just risk. Statistics show that steakhouse chains have 40% higher rates of cross-contamination violations compared to other restaurant types. The combination of raw meat handling and high customer volume creates numerous opportunities for mistakes. Outback's promise of quality cannot overcome systematic failures in safety protocols. For seniors, eating at Outback means trusting a company that has repeatedly proven it cannot protect you. At number 2, we have Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings marketed itself as the ultimate sports bar and wing destination. Dozens of sauce flavors, big screens everywhere, a place where seniors could enjoy wings and watch the game. The brand promised fresh food, cold beer, and a fun atmosphere. But health inspection reports reveal a disturbing reality of contaminated sauces, filthy kitchens, and food handling practices that put every customer at risk, especially vulnerable seniors. Wing restaurants face unique challenges because of the sheer volume of raw chicken processed daily. Every piece must be handled properly to prevent contamination. Yet inspection reports from Buffalo Wild Wings locations document systematic failures. In Wisconsin, inspectors found raw chicken dripping onto salad ingredients in shared refrigerators. In California, fryer oil was discovered to contain metal shavings from deteriorating equipment, contaminating every wing fried in that oil. In New York, employees were filmed by health inspectors preparing food without gloves after handling raw chicken and cleaning chemicals. Buffalo Wild Wings promises wing perfection. What they deliver is contamination at every step. The sensory details from these inspections are disturbing. One inspector described walking into a Buffalo Wild Wings kitchen and immediately smelling sewage. The grease trap had backed up, causing wastewater to pool on the kitchen floor where food was being prepared. Fryer oil had turned black and viscous from weeks without changing, giving wings a burnt, bitter taste that sauce barely masked. Ice machines contained pink and black mold growth, visible to the naked eye. Customers sitting in the dining room, watching the game and eating wings, had no idea what was happening just beyond those kitchen doors. For seniors with weakened immune systems, Buffalo Wild Wings presents extreme danger. Chicken is one of the most common sources of Salmonella and Campylobacter, bacteria that cause severe food poisoning. If you are over 65 or taking immunosuppressant medications, these infections can quickly progress to bloodstream infections, requiring hospitalization and intravenous antibiotics. One study found that seniors who contract Salmonella are 5 times more likely to die from the infection compared to younger adults. That plate of wings could be a death sentence. The sodium content in Buffalo Wild Wings meals is astronomical. A single order of boneless wings with medium sauce contains over 4,200 milligrams of sodium. Add fries and a side of ranch, and you have consumed over 7,000 milligrams. For seniors managing high blood pressure or heart failure, this single meal causes dangerous fluid retention and blood pressure spikes. Your medications cannot compensate for this sodium overload. Buffalo Wild Wings promises game day excitement. What you get is a trip to the emergency room. Buffalo Wild Wings locations have been linked to multiple norovirus outbreaks. Norovirus spreads through contaminated food and surfaces, often when sick employees continue working. The virus causes severe vomiting and diarrhea that can quickly dehydrate seniors. Combined with the high sodium content of the food, dehydration accelerates dangerously. Your kidneys struggle, your blood pressure drops. Confusion sets in. What started as wings and beer ends with an ambulance ride. Employee testimonies reveal that Buffalo Wild Wings corporate culture prioritizes speed over safety. Wings must be prepared quickly during busy game times. Corners get cut. Gloves are not changed between handling raw and cooked food. Sauces sit at room temperature for hours. Raw chicken thaws on counters instead of in refrigerators. One former manager admitted that health inspections were treated as unavoidable nuisances, not opportunities to improve safety. After inspectors left, operations returned to the same unsafe shortcuts. Buffalo Wild Wings promises wings done right. Corporate reality demands wings done fast, regardless of risk. Statistics reveal that restaurants serving primarily fried chicken have contamination rates 65% higher than other establishment types. Buffalo Wild Wings exemplifies this trend. The promise of flavor variety cannot overcome fundamental failures in food safety. For seniors, every visit is a gamble with stakes you cannot afford. Isn't it strange how billion-dollar restaurant chains keep having health violations, yet they stay packed with customers every single night? Coming in at number 1, Olive Garden. Olive Garden built an empire on Italian-American comfort food, unlimited breadsticks and salad, tour of Italy combinations, family-style portions. The brand promised a warm, welcoming atmosphere where generations could gather. "When you are here, you are family," the slogan declared. For seniors, Olive Garden represented reliable, familiar dining. But health inspection records reveal that this family treats its members with shocking neglect, serving contaminated food from filthy kitchens and putting your health at serious risk. Olive Garden's problems start with basic sanitation failures documented across locations nationwide. In Texas, inspectors found cockroach infestations so severe that insects were crawling on food prep surfaces during operating hours. In Ohio, raw chicken was discovered stored above ready-to-eat pasta, with bloody juices dripping down and contaminating multiple dishes. In Florida, walk-in coolers were measured at 58 degrees, allowing bacteria to multiply rapidly in sauces, meats, and dairy products. Olive Garden promises family warmth. What they deliver is bacterial breeding grounds. The sensory reality in Olive Garden kitchens is revolting. Inspection reports describe the smell of mold and mildew overwhelming kitchen areas. Bread warmers contained visible mold growth inside, meaning every breadstick you grab carries spores. Salad ingredients sat in bins with visible slime coating the lettuce leaves. Pasta water was reused throughout the day without changing, creating a bacterial soup that every noodle passes through. One inspector noted that the smell in the dish pit was so putrid that it made them gag. Yet servers continued bringing unlimited salad and breadsticks to unsuspecting families. For seniors, Olive Garden's unlimited offerings present hidden dangers beyond contamination. Those endless breadsticks contain over 1,200 milligrams of sodium each. The salad, while appearing healthy, is dressed with a mix containing over 2,000 milligrams of sodium per serving. Before your entree even arrives, you have consumed enough sodium to spike your blood pressure dangerously. Add a tour of Italy entree, and you are over 9,000 milligrams of sodium in a single meal. For seniors managing heart failure or kidney disease, this sodium load causes immediate health consequences. Your ankles swell, your breathing becomes labored, your heart races trying to manage the fluid overload. Olive Garden promises family comfort. What you get is medical crisis. Listeria contamination has been documented at multiple Olive Garden locations. Listeria grows even in refrigerated temperatures, thriving in ready-to-eat foods like deli meats and soft cheeses, both staples of Olive Garden's menu. For seniors, Listeria infection is particularly deadly. The bacteria can cross into your bloodstream, causing meningitis and sepsis. Pregnant women and adults over 65 account for nearly all listeriosis deaths. That seemingly safe chicken Alfredo could be harboring bacteria capable of killing you within days. Olive Garden's promise of family care becomes a betrayal when they serve contaminated food. The texture and appearance of properly handled pasta and sauces should be consistent. Yet customer complaints describe Olive Garden pasta arriving gummy and congealed, signs of being cooked hours earlier and reheated poorly. Sauces separate and curdle, indicating age and temperature, sheet and temperature abuse. Meats have a rubbery texture and off taste, clear evidence of being held too long. When questioned, servers blame the kitchen but offer to remake the dish using the same contaminated ingredients. Olive Garden promises fresh Italian cooking. What you receive is reheated, mishandled food that sat in unsafe conditions for hours. Olive Garden's parent company, Darden Restaurants, has paid millions in settlements related to food safety failures. In 2019, a hepatitis A outbreak traced to an Olive Garden in Pennsylvania infected 167 people. The source was an employee who continued working while visibly ill because management pressured staff never to call out sick. Multiple customers died from liver failure complications. Internal investigations revealed that Olive Garden locations routinely violated their own sick employee policies to maintain staffing during busy periods. Olive Garden promises you are family, but they treat their employees and customers as expendable. Statistics reveal that Italian-themed chain restaurants have foodborne illness outbreak rates 50% higher than other casual dining categories. The combination of dairy-heavy sauces, complex dishes requiring multiple preparation steps, and unlimited service models creates numerous contamination opportunities. Olive Garden exemplifies every risk factor. The promise of Italian family tradition masks an American reality of corporate corner-cutting and systematic safety failures. When you are here, you are family. But what kind of family serves you food contaminated with bacteria, prepared in kitchens crawling with insects, and loaded with enough sodium to trigger heart attacks? Olive Garden's betrayal runs deep because they built their entire brand on trust and tradition. Seniors believe the marketing. The reality is that Olive Garden treats you like profit margins, not family members. That unlimited salad comes with unlimited risk. Why do you think restaurants with family branding seem to have some of the worst health violations? Coincidence or something more calculated? The first actual safe option, Panera Bread. Panera Bread operates under strict food safety protocols with regular third-party audits. Their ingredients are traceable, preservatives are minimal, and sodium content is clearly labeled on every menu item. Seniors can customize orders to meet dietary restrictions, and food is prepared fresh throughout the day with temperature controls strictly enforced. Panera's transparency about ingredients and consistent safety record make it a genuinely safe choice. What sets Panera apart is their commitment to clean ingredients. You can view complete nutritional information before ordering. Their soups contain reasonable sodium levels compared to other chains, typically ranging from 700 to 1,200 milligrams per serving. This is significantly lower than the sodium bombs you encounter elsewhere. For seniors managing blood pressure, this transparency allows you to make informed decisions that protect your health rather than jeopardize it. Panera also maintains strict temperature control protocols. Food is prepared in smaller batches throughout the day rather than sitting for hours. Their salad ingredients are delivered fresh daily and stored properly. Walk into any Panera and you will notice the difference immediately. The smell is fresh bread and coffee, not rancid grease. The dining area is clean and well-maintained. This is not an accident. It is the result of consistent standards and proper management. The second recommendation, Chipotle Mexican Grill. Despite past issues, Chipotle completely overhauled their food safety systems after their 2015 outbreaks. They now maintain some of the strictest protocols in the industry, with real-time temperature monitoring, rigorous supplier testing, and mandatory food safety training exceeding federal requirements. Their simple menu means fewer cross-contamination risks, and ingredient sourcing is transparent. For seniors who want bold flavors without hidden dangers, Chipotle has earned back trust through documented safety improvements. Chipotle's transformation is impressive. They implemented a farm-to-face traceability system that tracks every ingredient from source to restaurant. Every supplier is tested. Every batch of produce is verified. Their kitchens use separate cutting boards for different ingredients to prevent cross-contamination. Temperature logs are maintained digitally and reviewed daily by corporate food safety teams. For seniors, Chipotle offers another advantage. You can build a bowl with controlled portions and lower sodium options. Skip the tortilla and chips. Choose brown rice, black beans, fajita vegetables, and grilled chicken. Add fresh salsa and guacamole. This combination provides protein, fiber, and healthy fats without excessive sodium. A carefully constructed Chipotle bowl can contain under 1,500 milligrams of sodium, far below the danger zone of other chains. You deserve to enjoy dining out without risking your health. The restaurants we expose today have systematically failed seniors by prioritizing profits over safety. From contaminated kitchens to sodium-loaded meals, These chains have betrayed the trust of their most vulnerable customers. But now you know the truth. When choosing where to eat, look for transparency. Demand ingredient information. Ask about sodium content. Pay attention to cleanliness in the dining area because it often reflects what is happening in the kitchen. Trust your senses. If food smells off, looks wrong, or tastes strange, do not eat it. Your instincts exist to protect you. The two restaurants we recommended, Panera and Chipotle, have proven their commitment to food safety through actions, not just marketing. They provide transparency, maintain strict protocols, and respect their customers enough to serve food that meets genuine safety standards. These are the establishments that deserve your business. Your health matters. Your safety matters. You have worked hard your entire life. You deserve to enjoy a meal without wondering if it will land you in the hospital. By making informed choices and avoiding the dangerous restaurants we expose today, you take control of your well-being. Subscribe now. And if you are watching on TV, tap your remote so you never get blindsided again. We will continue investigating and exposing the truth about what you are really eating, because knowledge is power and your health is worth protecting.